3 different countries, 6 different winners from 5 brands. In Georgia, local man David Kajaya took Alfa Romeo's first victory, whilst Pepe Oriola opened up Seat's account in race 2. In Bahrain, new team Mira took Honda's victory with Roberto Colciago, and Dusan Borkovic claimed his first TCR win. The legendary Spa saw legendary victors Stefano Camini for Audi and Jean-Carl Venet for Volkswagen. Just Opel then, the only brand not to have a race win yet, so is the Cathedral of Speed the chance for Courtaulds and Hommela?
I think that we have big potential and I want to win, that's why I'm here.
Yes, Seat will be quick. Alfa I know is quick again.
Alfa Romeo and Honda.
The Alfas will be strong.
Like always, Honda will be fast.
Everybody except us.
I hope it's still Honda winning, but we have to wait.
Built in 1922, Monza played host to the TCR International in its inaugural season and returns for season 3 as the 4th meeting of the year. The Italian circuit is universally loved by all.
The Temple of Speed, yeah. So it's a great track. Such a beautiful Giulietta on such a beautiful legendary circuit.
Every time an incredible feeling to be here.
You can smell that it has been a lot of good racing over here.
Great history, and for me it's a great honor to participate here in Monza.
Free practice took place on Friday, and it was Pepe Oriola and Roberto Colciago fastest in the 2 sessions, the only 2 men to break under the 2-minute barrier.
Doesn't mean nothing free practice. We have to wait until tomorrow, the qualifying, to see what's the real competitor.
If we manage to set a lap with the perfect toe, I think we can be in the top 3, so good.
You know, on the free practice you never know who is using which tires, so for now it's good, but I don't want to say that it's really good because tomorrow can be a knockdown. Huh?
My challenge for tomorrow is to enter in Q2 and to try to do P9 or P10, so this is my job.
Just have to focus on our work, score as many points as we can, and that's all. We know that victory will be difficult, but we never know, that's motorsport.
A beautiful Saturday morning greeted 19 drivers for qualifying. Some teams, the slipstream would be vital and team play would be a big part of the session. The Bamboo team ran in formation throughout the full 20-minute Q1, each alternating to be at the front, middle and back. The only team to benefit from a 3-car train. The Opels also ran in formation for Courtaulds and Hommela, and the Leopard Racing team had a new boy, Jaap van Lagen, to tow championship leader Jean-Carl Venet around the park. Other drivers and teams considered it too much of a risk to place their 2 cars together. The Alfa Romeos ran apart, as did West Coast Racing. With 4 minutes left of the session, Stefano Camini was still yet to set a decent lap time. Without a slipstream, he locked up at Variante Rettifilo and threw away another opportunity. 2015 winner in Monza, Gianni Morbidelli, struggled to get into the second part of qualifying, and on the same part of the circuit, Dusan Borkovic would also miss out. Camini waited for just 17 seconds left on the clock to qualify, pushing Morbidelli out. Just 10 minutes for Q2 placed real pressure on drivers to drive clean laps. Hugo Valente was the second of the Bamboo cars, but felt Nash was holding him up, so gave him a little push. However, later on in the lap at Ascari, the Frenchman ran off track, ruining his lap and that of his teammates. In the same group, Colciago and Tashi alternated at being the fastest on track. On their own, Kajaya and Camini ran without a slipstream, but did enough for P4 and P8 respectively, while the other Audi of Frederick Vervisch was hooking up all the sectors and took provisional pole position. Even more remarkable, he had no slipstream. No improvements from the main group of cars, meaning Hugo Valente would take race 2 pole position, but Frederick Vervisch would win qualifying.
It's not easy to get a good slipstream and then to be free, because there is always someone who has to sacrifice his lap, and you don't have many laps. So I thought, okay, just try to have no traffic, maybe a far slipstream. That didn't work, but it was good enough to have pole. So
it is a beautiful sunny day here, and we have 19 of the best TCR International Series drivers on the grid, ready to take on this amazing cathedral of speed. Look at the grid: Vervisch, Colciago, Tashi, Kajaya, Mato Hommela, and Pepe Oriola. So that is Audi, Honda, Volkswagen for Vinay, Audi for Camini, James Nash and Hugo Valente in 9th and 10th, Van Lagen 11th and Fitzer in 12th position. And then down to the back half of the field that didn't even get into Q2, Morbidelli, Altoe, Borkovic down in 15th position, watch out for him. So we're going to have 11 laps of the race. And here we go, who's made the best start? The Hondas are always fantastic at starting, and Attila Tassi once again looks like he's made a good start. He's going to tuck in behind his teammate as they head down towards the first turn, and Colciago is in the lead ahead of Attila Tassi, but Tassi looks like he feels like he's going to run further back. It looks like Morbidelli trying to go down the inside of one of the bamboos. Oh, Colciago's run deep. Oh, and Homola's been put into a spin, and there's a bit of collision, and it looks like Stefano Camini has been involved in that. Camini looks like he may be last position, and the two Hondas are putting each other on the grass there in second position. Vivic trying to get back ahead of Tassi after he was slowed going through the first chicane, and now they head down towards the second. Vivic very, very, very deep into the turn. Tassi trying to defend, but Vivic has an overlap, cannot find a way through, and backs into David Kajaya, who is there in 4th position. Altoe in the gravel, that's such a shame for the young Italian. Into the Parabolica, bit of defending once again. Vivic looks so strong in that Audi. And it's all going to be about the slipstream, down the start, finishing straight and into the first corner. Kajaya has got a good run on the RS3. Can't go to the inside, not allowed to overtake over that white line. So Vivic can sit on the white line and knows that Kajaya will not be allowed to go to the inside. But look at them all blocking, and Tassi's got a run on his teammate Colciago to try and go around the outside, but Colciago holds the inside line. What about Pepe Oriola around the outside of the Alfa? The Alfa goes to the inside of Vivic, tips him into a spin, chaos ensues, and Oriola's up into second position, although Jean Calvinet has certainly taken advantage by cutting across the chicane. He's going to have to give at least 2 positions back. Double wave yellows through the Curva Grande. Well, here's a replay of the start then, and Altoe goes to the inside, presumably to avoid somebody, comes back onto the circuit. Now watch in the middle of the pack. Who was it? Homola's trying to go around the outside of Oriola. Bit of a kiss there. He turns in and then loses the back end. Spins across Morbidelli and then spins across Camini and slows Altoe. And Dusan Borkovic is behind them, watching, hoping that he can pick up a few more points here. The Alfa Romeo is super strong down the straight. Sits in the slipstream. And fantastic to see, actually, that it's not that much stronger. It's pretty balanced between those two brands. And that is credit. Oh, Jaap van Lagen hits James Nash. Fitzer goes off on circuit. Van Lagen loses a rear end as well there. And what's happening now? Vivic trying to recover. He's got past Dusan Borkovic. So there must be something on the ground there, because that's very, very strange. Contact again from Hugo Valente on Frederick Vivic. And Borkovic is completely locked to the back of the Audi. Fantastic to see. He's going to have the inside line for the next chicane. Nothing that Hugo Valente can do about this. Nash loses the rear again under braking. Borkovic looks to the inside of... oh, come on. What is going on, boys? Behave. Oh, that car does not look happy at all. Lots of smoke coming off the Audi. Right, what are we seeing here then? Jaap van Lagen goes to the inside of Nash, taps Nash, and Fitzer just decides not to turn and takes a huge advantage. It's Vivic to the inside of James Nash. That is going to happen, but he's going to run wide again. Now, is that advantage? Nash goes defensive on Dusan Borkovic. Contact between the two of them. Borkovic still has the inside line, and they've lost positions to Hugo Valente. Track limits to 55, and that is Fritz Fitzer. This is a real proper touring car race, isn't it? Elbows out, temperatures rising in the cockpit. All bits of car falling off from James Nash. Whether that was helped by Dusan Borkovic, I'm not sure. But here comes Mato Homola to the outside in the Opel. Can he go around the outside of Borkovic? I doubt it, not through Ascari. He's going to have to slot into line and think of a different way to try and get past. Vivic is in 6th, then Valente, then Nash, then Borkovic to the inside of Homola. Homola's not going to go around the outside there either. Keeps finding himself on the wrong part of the circuit, doesn't he, Mato? And actually opening the door to Gianni Morbidelli. Wow! Great front end grip from Gianni Morbidelli, drives clean past Mato Homola and now has a run on Dusan Borkovic as well, and probably could take advantage of James Nash. 3 wide over the start finishing line. This is Monza. This is slipstreaming, and we're going to try and go 4 wide with Stefano Camini. That would be silly, Stefano. James Nash somehow holds on to the position. They all wiggle through the chicane. Oh, and contact between Borkovic and Morbidelli. Ah, come on, boys. That was so much fun. You've ruined it. And let's have a look here. Borkovic down the inside of Morbidelli. Clear punt there. Puts him into a spin and really just slows the both of them down. Camini had the run on James Nash, now tries to go all the way around the outside, but Nash again can just kind of run him wide. Gives him enough space, but Camini has to go 4 wheels off, and there's a bit of touching as well as they exit the corner. Camini's held on and gone all the way around the outside, across the line. This is for, 9th and 10th position. And now the relative speed of Seat and Audi, side by side. They've actually got the same engine, interestingly. They share the same parts. And Nash is going to have the inside line at the chicane. Is he? Just about. Bit of contact between the two of them. Stefano manages to muscle the car around the corner so he doesn't cut it. And of course that's invited Borkovic and Morbidelli into the fray as well. All for 9th position. Borkovic to the inside through the Curva Grande, because Nash was compromised in the speed coming out of the first chicane. And now Borkovic gets himself onto the podium, onto the point scoring positions. And Morbidelli looking at Nash. Oh, he's been in the wars, poor James. Oh, Tassi's made a mistake. Oriola's up into 2nd position. What has happened there? Tassi looked as though he was challenging for the lead half a lap ago. And here it is. Run wide. Ah, no. Into the gravel trap. Comes out of the throttle, J.K. Venet behind doing the same thing, and the car got spat out sideways onto the track, so couldn't keep the momentum, and Oriola's into 2nd spot. Wow! Tavik Kajaya into the pits and out of the race. It was clear that there was going to be a problem with the car. I can tell you also, Pierre-Yves Courtals is in the pits as well. Honda, Seat, Honda. Volkswagen in 4th position, and then Seat in 5th. And Tassi's not close enough to pick up a slipstream from Pepe Oriola, but he might try it on the brakes. Oriola's wise to it, puts the car in the middle of the circuit. Now tries to get back onto the racing line, but Tassi was already there. And that was the best opportunity, now missed. Still, podium and 3rd position is pretty good for Tassi. Repeats what he did in Spa a couple of weeks ago. Oh, is that a puncher for Pepe Oriola, or is that just bodywork? Either way, Tassi's got the run on him. Tassi to the outside, though, into the chicane. Is that slowing Oriola up? It is. Tassi's got past him again. Wow, drama in the final lap here. Oh, understeer from Tassi, but understeer from Oriola. And if actually Oriola dips the car into the gravel like that, whatever's rubbing on his rear tyre might well free itself. But we're coming towards the final turn here. Jean Calvinet may try something. He's really, really close, but not quite close enough, as there's change between Vervish and Fitzer, I think, for 5th position. Just in the back, a shot there. Either way, Fitzer's held on, by the way. The checker flag is flying for Roberto Colciago, Italian victor, with Tassi in 2nd, and Oriola just holds on ahead of Venet, Camini, Borkovic and Morbidelli. Roberto Colciago takes victory over Attila Tassi by 1.6 seconds, with Pepe Oriola the 3rd man on the podium. Venet 4th and Vervish 5th, because Ferenc Fitzer drops to 10th position after a penalty for an unfair advantage cutting the chicane. Valent, Homola, Camini and Borkovic round out the remaining places.
Here was really difficult because with the toe and the slipstreaming it was not possible to pull away because it's a lot of different. But I'm happy because also Attila was 2nd. It was a really good race for us, for Mira team.
Happy to see the Pommery logos, and Gabriele Tarquini's here. Hey, look at that. Hyundai's TCR test driver hands a trophy to another Italian. With the sun shining, Saturday evening was the perfect opportunity for the paddock to enjoy a glass or two of Pommery and chat about the day's action. One very interested guest was the man developing the new Hyundai TCR i30, Gabriele Tarquini.
We did 2 tests, one in Spain, one in Italy, and preparing. I hope a good TCR car.
What do you think of the TCR paddock and the atmosphere that you see?
It's very nice. I mean, I know 99% of the people involved because the people involved are in motorsport since my time. And TCR is a new project, very worldwide and very interesting for everybody, for privateers and manufacturers. And it's very nice. Atmosphere is very new, very young, very motivated people. So it's very good to be back.
Another beautiful day, as I say, 20 degrees air temperature, track temperature a little bit higher than it was yesterday, a bit more humidity as well. Valente starts on pole alongside James Nash, his teammate, with Stefano Camini and Jean Carvenet behind. That is a fiery top 5 with Oriola in 5th, Mato Homola in 6th position, and it's going to be interesting into the first corner. Kajaya, Tashi, Colciago, Vervish, and then a gap, supposed to be Jaap van Lagen, who should be in that position. He is not going to miss the race, he's going to be starting at the back of the field as we look at the second half of the field. Morbidelli, Altoe, Borkovic, Cortals. So we're not actually missing any drivers. Van Lagen has just been removed and put to the back of the field, leaving a hole. That will be down to the processes in which, there he is at the back of the field. All the cars are formed up. The green flag flies at the back of the field, and we're ready to go racing here in Monza. Just one light at the top goes on, and when it goes off, we're racing a short hole. James Nash looks like he got a slightly better bite than Hugo Valente, and they're going to run side by side as they go into the first corner. Camini's done well too. We may have 3 wide here. Hugo's had to try and defend from James Nash. That hasn't worked out for him, and Hugo's been swallowed. So Valente's going to go down to at least 3rd, perhaps 4th position, as Jean Carvenet gets past him, side by side in 3rd position. Nash leads from Camini. Oh, and contact between the 2 of them. The 2 Frenchmen hit each other. Hugo's in the gravel. Tassi's been spun into an Alfa Romeo. That's Dusan Borkovic. What a disappointment for Tassi. So strong, and now side by side for the lead of the race. Stefano Camini is going to have the inside line for the second chicane here. James Nash to the outside, just testing his brakes a little bit as they come into the braking zone. But James is going to have to think of another way to do it because it's already happened. Camini takes the lead before he even gets to the braking zone. And now time to settle down. Oriola looking to try and pass Jean Carvenet for 3rd spot. Another fantastic start from Pepe Oriola. Then it's Mato Homola in 5th position. Colciago 6th. Vervish in 7th spot. Colciago looks strong down this straight. The Audi is also strong behind, but the Opel seems to have the legs on them. Oriola was complaining a little bit about the Honda's pace, and Colciago and Vervish so side by side, a bit of contact between the 2 of them, and Vervish goes over the grass. They're going to run side by side through the Curva Grande. They both skip across the chicane, and does Mato Homola get an advantage from that? Homola was is that not Mato Homola? Yeah, Homola was ahead of them, wasn't he? So they've actually gained an advantage, both of them, by passing Homola. Homola going side by side with Vervish in the background. Manages to make the turn though. Here's a replay of the start. Colciago, amazing start from the Honda. And then what about the contact between Jean Carvenet and Hugo Valente? Side by side through the first part of the turn. Valente tries to squeeze Jean Carvenet, and Venet makes contact with him. And it was actually David Kajaya who got into the back of Attila Tassi and spun Tassi round, and then that pitched him into Kajaya's teammate. There's Valente going off the circuit, already with damage. Oh, Colciago looking to the inside of Pepe Oriola here. Oriola just about defending, and now Vervish gets into the back of Colciago. No change in position, but both of those 2 are ahead of Homola. And for the moment, no investigation on that one. Colciago to the inside of Oriola this time, and Oriola's caught off guard this time. Colciago makes it through, and he's now up to 4th position. And now Oriola in the slipstream, and everyone's closed up. Stefano Camini hasn't been able to hold on. James Nash, I think his tyres have come in now. Certainly he's got more confidence, and he's in the slipstream of Camini, and now the race starts to come alive. It's been very polite so far, but we're now getting into the second half, and Vavish and Oriola go side by side, and Vavish muscles his way past, bullies Oriola off the apex. And that is touring car racing. That's how you do it. Side by side, contact, none of this kind of pushing on the rear. Nice move from Vavish, and I must remember, this is Vavish's second only touring car race, his second only front wheel drive race. His debut in Spa. He's raced for the 4 rings before, but in GTs. And now he's defending from Oriola. Good momentum from the Honda. Good momentum from Colciago. He's going to have a look down the inside here at the Lesmos. Is there enough space for Colciago? Only just, but Jean-Carl Venet gives him enough room. They run side by side on the exit. Venet just dabs the brake a little bit to slot behind Roberto Colciago. And now the Italian makes his move forward. Here's the move. And actually, do you know what? There was hardly any room there at the start. But as soon as Venet moved over, he allowed Colciago to get through, and there was just enough of a advantage. That was really driving with your head. And here comes Frédéric Vavish on Jean-Carl Venet. Venet puts him to the outside line. Hommler trying to find a way past Oriola as well. No room there. And again, side by side to the first part, and Vavish tries to hold the second part. There we go. That's nice racing, boys. Much more like it. And now Venet's going to have the inside line, but a little bit of a tyre rub between the two. That's going to slow Venet down, I think. And suddenly, Vavish is going to have the inside line for the next turn. Meanwhile, further back, I think Hommeler's going to get past Pepe Oriola, and he's going to tow David Kajaya with him. Oh, and is Hommeler going to try and go past Jean-Carl Venet? Not quite. Here comes Colciago to the inside of James Nash, into the Ascari chicane. Not really a braking zone there, but he's made it stick. Colciago a bit messy on the second part of Ascari. Here is the move. And it's not a huge braking zone, but Colciago was strong enough down the straight to get enough alongside James Nash. Colciago, Nash, Vavish in fourth, and then Jean-Carl Venet, Hommeler and Kajaya to the inside of Oriola. Oh, and further back, Attila Tassi has put, I think, Morbidelli into a spin there on the braking zone. Jaap van Lagem is all squirrely too, and that is Altoe missing out. There is Morbidelli recovering. Camini really under pressure here. He's going to have to sit right on the inside line and force Colciago to the outside in the Ascari. Look at that, really on the inside. Colciago to the outside. Camini now moves back into race position, but all this defending is going to squeeze this pack up. Vavish is going to be sniffing a podium. Stefano Camini has had this kind of pressure before, but look how strong that Honda is down the straight. Is there going to be an overlap when they get to the braking zone? There is, but it's going to be the other side. Camini now needs to move over. Has Colciago done enough? Vavish on James Nash, a little bit of kissing for the lead. And James Nash loses that third position. Colciago comes across the chicane. Going to have to give that position back to Stefano Camini. Colciago now in the lead of the race. Camini second, Vavish in third spot. And now Colciago on the defensive. Camini back into the lead. I think that was probably Roberto Colciago just fading out of the accelerator, knowing that he made that pass illegally. Nice sportsmanship from Colciago. Now Camini on the defensive. He knows what he needs to do here. Same again, force him off the circuit, and Colciago will know that he can't make that move. Nash is also defending for fourth position. This time Colciago cannot make a way through. Jean-Carl Venet into the lead of the race. No, slow down. Can't do that, JK. In fifth position up to second. He's going to have to fade out that throttle a lot now. Let's Vavish back into third. Let's James Nash back into fourth position. And now slots back into his rightful slot. Little lock up from Vavish. Oh, that's a mistake from Vavish. Loses the rear end. Can James Nash capitalise on that? Going into Lesmos. He tries, but Vavish really hard on the defensive. And that backed James Nash up into Jean-Carl Venet. Camini to the inside line. One last chance for Roberto Colciago to make this move happen. It's not going to happen for him here. Maybe a switch back, maybe a run to the line. Can he just tighten this apex a little bit? Can he get enough of momentum through this final turn? I think Stefano Camini has just about held on. What a race from our TCR International boys. Fantastic stuff. Camini, Colciago and Vavish is the podium, but look at the flood of cars coming over the line. The top 11 cars separated by just 4 seconds by the end, and it's an Audi victory again. Here is the result, the provisional result. Camini from Colciago just a 10.5 by the end, with Vavish holding off Nash, Venet, Homela, Kajaya, Oriola, Tassi and Fitzer. 2 Hungarians in 9th and 10th position.
It's very good for us, it's very good for Audi, it's very good for Come To You. It's very, very good for the Oppa Comini style. Here I have a lot of fans and grazie ragazzi, auguri mamma, buona festa della mamma.
Look how quick Camini was there. Fastest man on circuit and fastest man with the champagne. We've had 2 fantastic races, and I hope you'll join us for the rest of our season. We're nearly halfway through. Salzburg is the next one in a couple of weekends' time. So make sure you join us and keep up to date with everything on Facebook and Twitter. Until then, speak to you soon.